everybody. Thomas Helfrich. I founded a company called InstantlyRelevant.com. People come to us to stop guessing how to make money on LinkedIn, how to get leads, but without doing it without being spammy or brand wrecking. My background is intelligent automation AI systems. I kind of walked into this marketing idea through looking at the social media algorithms, looking at how they work and how they're supposed to be interacting, looking at the systems in place of what works on different social media. And then I launched InstantlyRelevant.com as a way to help initially myself grow a relevant network, which we've done to about 35,000 people of really relevant founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs. But then what are the systems in place to actually grow a business from it? And how does that apply in different things? So we've created a whole instantly relevant LinkedIn sales system. I'm going to go over just a single slide and talk about these different components of what you'll need to do. Because in today's world, there's so much automation, there's so much AI, it's a problem. Because I'm seeing companies and individuals now that are 12, 18, 24 months into sending the sequences of messages, the direct messages or cold email outreach. And they're like, oh, it worked initially, and then it didn't. And then now no one really talks to us and our content's not doing well. What's going on? You see, guys, when you use automation to go build your LinkedIn profiles and you help do that to do lead generation, you're slowly just brand spamming everyone and you're wrecking your brand. And when I see people 12, 18, 24 months into it, they don't know what to do because they've spammed 95% of their addressable market and they're really struggling. So this system will help address some of those problems. And if you have questions and comments, please reach out. I'll try to answer them as I can. But let me go through it. Let me figure out how to present without screwing this up. But let me share a screen. Can I share my screen?
Yep. So just click present and share screen, and you should be able to just show us your slides that way.
Good word. I have StreamYard. Did I get it? Did it come up? Oh,
it's great. You're ready to go.
Guys, technology's hard. It's really hard. And yes, I know you're wondering, the cut tie, that's a shameless plug for Never Been Promoted. That's the logo. And that's a real background. So let's jump into this now. Okay, guys, when you have a sales system in place, understand you need one. So if you want to use this one, by all means, look at it, leverage it, but come up with one. Don't just do one or two of these things. You have to do almost everything in here to really build a business, in particular on LinkedIn. And the way that we do it really is really geared towards massively increasing your brand awareness, elevating your executive eminence, and that's your executive presence online, how people view you from a thought leadership, from a credibility standpoint. You got to learn how to get leads daily, and I want to talk about how you create irresistible offers and develop signature solutions like this as well, and how you convert a lead to a customer to a referral machine. And then and where maybe a mentoring and executive coaching comes in. It's super important to understand each one of these elements because they all work in tandem and they're all needed to really be successful. And we execute this every day. So just to be clear, I'm only in LinkedIn about an hour a week. I have over 5,000 interactions a month going out, and none of it's automated. And you'll have to DM me to learn the secrets behind that, but it's all based upon this system. So let's get in. Our system really takes you through three things, and this is how you should think about when you're doing your LinkedIn presence. You'll have a core foundational period. You'll have some areas where you're going to start learning to connect with people, and you got to learn how to convert them. So core, connect, convert. The first kind of phase is core, and this is all about building an intentional LinkedIn presence, one that is altruistic. It's in the service of that profile of one. You learn how to create content that serves that profile of one, and you learn how to optimize your profile to be in service of that profile of one. The point of this phase is to set up a really good intentional foundation to support the other phases. It is where you establish relevance and credibility. And it's really where you really get to know your ideal customer profile to a very segmented list. And you're not guessing. That profile of one I described there is the ideal customer profile, but you can answer with clarity why. And when you can do that, you'll know exactly what content you need to go create to be relevant to that profile of one. You'll know how to optimize your profile. When people say, oh, I got to optimize my profile, what the hell does that even mean? What you really need to do is have it altruistic. You need to have it in service of an ideal customer profile. Then it is optimized. So we'll talk about that a little bit, because what you want to do there is make sure that you answer three main questions. Why should I click on it? What does it you do for me? And why should I take your call to action? And if you look at my profile on LinkedIn, I'll happily drop maybe in here in the chat what mine is. Not that it's a perfect example. I put it in the comments. It's linkedin.com/n/Thomas Helfrich. Mine does not talk about my position, my title, the name of my company, or any of this other stuff. It talks about why people connect with me, what it is I do for you, and why you should take a call to action. Take that as maybe is an idea. The idea behind that is it serves that profile of one. When you establish a core foundation that works in tandem like this, and it's very specific and has content to attract, has content to inform, and you're set up to be able to be receiving of someone's interest, you are now ready to kind of go to a connect phase. The connect phase is all about generating leads. It's about interacting with people actively. And what I mean by that is taking this phase is really to like establish, know, like, trust, to leverage the relevance and credibility that you established in core as a catalyst to accelerate it. So let me say it again. It's becoming known, like, and trusted. And you do this through three main activities: through engagement, through dialogue, and through your call to action. So looking at how you actively engage, I bet most people think they just need to create comment, maybe like a post here and there, and talk about what they're doing. It's actually, you need to be out there almost 95%, 99% commenting on other people's posts in a thoughtful way, in a provocative way to ask questions, driving really focused dialogues around people's topics, around what they're posting about. And let's go back to core just a second. Who is it you're doing this on? It's the profile of one. You're not doing this randomly on some random post that shows up or on some influencer just so you can get more followers. No, you're doing this on a profile of one. You're not chasing vanity metrics. You're chasing real interactions. You're chasing credibility, and you're trying to become known, like, and trusted to an ideal customer profile. That active engagement gives attention where people then will notice you. And when they notice you, this is when your content and your profile become very relevant. Actively engage. And I do mean this, thoughtful and provocative. Now, a little tip, don't use AI to automate this. Use some human thought. You can use AI to accelerate it, to help you with the questions you should ask on your posts, on some of the responses you should give. But you need to be modifying these with your own ideas. So when you actively engage and you start interacting dialogues through comments and structure, leverage AI to help you, but not replace you. And it's super important not to do that, because it will come across as very flat and not you. Okay, next part, the call to action. Everyone has different calls to action. This system will work with anybody who needs a know, like, and trusted system. So if you're trying to sell, coaching services, maybe you're selling CFO services, maybe you're, trying to sell people franchises, or maybe you're, a $1 billion unicorn that has a SaaS software that, costs $1 million a year. You have to get know, like, and trusted. So your call to action needs to reflect that. So not everyone's going to be the same. You're going to have to figure out what level of call to action is going to be needed. So is it a top of funnel webinar, group sales? Is it, just meet with me directly? Is it download this white paper? What is it? But you need to have a call to action specifically that tells people why they should take it, not what or where they're going. Once again, if you'd like to look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll see our call to action right now. It says book an appointment. It's because that's what people do directly to us. It's very specific and gets to it. Now, the last phase, you got core, you got connected, and you got someone who's a lead. How do you convert them? And so this is all about taking your leads to become loyal customers that become referral engines for you. Because when someone refers something to you, that's when you become instantly relevant. When someone goes, your customer goes, hey, you got to go work with Thomas at Instantly Relevant. I didn't have to go do those other steps. Someone came in and said, hey, my friend, my business colleague, they referred me. Let's talk. That's when you become instantly relevant. And that's when your company can really take off, because if you can do more and more of these, your referral based is coming from a customer that absolutely loves you. And there's kind of three main activities in this section. First of all, you got to understand some of the nurturing activities you have to do. You're going to have to learn how to expand and deepen your established relationships. And you can do this through a number of ways. A podcast, for example, writing an article about somebody, meeting someone for coffee, for example. Maybe you help them with some of their content, or you send them a little gift of some sort, a book, whatever it is. Learn ways to nurture your customers, or your prospects, and your customers throughout the cycle. It's super important. It's something you should give high attention to. Next and foremost is your offer theory. This is where you get your customer. Your offer theory needs to be compelling, irresistible. It needs to have some options ready to be done in a way that is it can accommodate a couple different types of buyers, or a few different types of buyers. Your offer theory, you need to really work through the thinking of this, the the kind of words you're going to be using in it, the value you're going to be driving, and making sure the offer answers the questions people to know what this is about. What am I, what's the value? What is my investment? The word choice, the pricing, that's all the offer theory. So when you're doing this, you really take some time to think about, don't just slap together a proposal. You got a customer's interested and you put a crappy proposal in front of them. Really take time to think through this. Work through those proposals and the offers that you're going to go present and make it so people absolutely want to work with you. Add bonuses. Do things, some scarcity, do some things like time, like they were talking about, like make sure there's a time crunch on it so people are encouraged to act. There's a lot of things that go into this, but take the time to learn it and build a really good offer system so you get customers. And finally, develop a referral system. A referral system is something that just doesn't happen. You need a structured set of processes to bring people in. So that's getting customer testimonials. That's making sure you're asking people to do Google reviews or Clutch reviews. It's filming those testimonials. It's actually making sure that some of the things that people are saying align to some of your SEO and content and other things that you'll be doing downstream. Take the time to build these systems. Now, when you put all this together, it all works in tandem. You do need to kind of step through initially to build a good core, to start connecting with people and convert them. But never at any point are you dropping the ball. You're working these kind of 3 phases at all times once it's in motion. These things will absolutely build you a revenue generating system from LinkedIn. We do it every day. For example, my inbound box is about 120 inbound meetings a month that are fully qualified, and we spend $0 on advertising, and we don't do any email outreach. We absolutely work this system every day on my profile and through my company, and we do this for hundreds of other entrepreneurs globally. Let me tell you a couple of things. I'll leave you here. I'm not sure how much time I have left, but let me take a look here. Okay, about 6 minutes. Good. So this is a big piece. So I think I want to leave you a couple ideas. AI has a part of this, and it is an accelerator. Recently, I did a post about how ChatGPT is really kind of not helping you. Let me explain where you're using AI and how and where you can get advantage. So imagine something right here. There's 2 types of content creators, for example. There's one that is very good and one who's not. And before GPT, they had a distance between them. It was about this big, right? Now, GPT came out and people started using it for everything. The people who weren't very good saw a big rise. And then the people who are really good saw like a hockey stick rise. The difference between the people that are using AI that knew what they were doing before and using AI and didn't really know what they're doing is massive. Though the perception from those who aren't doing very well is that they're getting so much better and they're moving so much faster, but they are getting further behind. And when you start applying AI to things like this in a sales system for your content, for how you optimize, for how you're doing some of your pricing or how you're doing some of your strategy, know that AI may not be enough. You're going to have to give a lot of thought. You may have to use outsourced partners to help you do parts of these things to do them well, because there are lots of people leveraging technologies to accelerate them in that, to accelerate them to do what they do great, even greater and faster. So don't be fooled when you're using a system or you're trying to develop your LinkedIn profiles and you're trying to build a business. If you feel like you're doing all the right things, but you're still getting further behind, you may not be focusing the technology and your talents in the right spot. And I would seek mentorship, because this is something that I see ruins a lot of people's ability to build a LinkedIn business, is that they're leveraging technology because it's shiny and cool, but it's not actually helping them. It's actually helping. They're getting further behind because they're not focusing on their strengths. I think, as I kind of wrap this up, I want you to know, I'm going to stop sharing just real quick and just kind of end this with you, is that it's really important just to take time to still think through your system. If you want a copy of that or something else, I'm happy to share it. If you want to find time with me to kind of work through what it is that you're struggling with, either it be content or your system itself, or you're just feeling like you're getting too much sawtoothing in your business development, like you're getting a client, you can't find one, come talk to me. I'll happily walk you through what we do in the system. And I guess from an offer standpoint, we do this from coaching, mentoring, some small group masterclass stuff, and we do it for you as well. I just ask you to reach out and ask questions, because that's when you're going to learn. And I strongly recommend, I'll leave this way, don't turn to automation as a first choice. There's a place for automation to use in these systems, but it is not during your initial outreach. It's not why you're trying to build a known, like, trusted prospect list. And more importantly, I really want you to think through what LinkedIn's great about. It is a networking tool. It's a networking tool. Take the time to go network. Take the time to meet other people and actually get to know them. And when you do this, you'll see this activity that seems very grassroots, very maybe bootstrapped level. it will really absolutely pay off long term, and it'll help your brand be much better perceived and much higher value.